Yo, we out here. Got the homeboy Stilo, the
What's going
gold,
on, King?
the homeboy Truhitz. You know, came through with fam as he
Yeah.
does. You know, he doesn't mess with you unless he's messing with your vibe. So Truhitz, what vibe are you bringing in Stilo's life? Kuthaluka, later in the interview, what's the vibe? He's fucking with you. You know?
That's the sauce. The sauce. It's the music. It's the music.
Yeah. I mean, so your whole connect be like you just dropped the Sugar Misa right now,
Yeah.
Ricky. Yo, what genre of music do you do?
We just make good music, you know, not to sound cliche or anything, but it's just like the whole premise of like the whole process of making a song or making a musical project for us is like it needs to do three things: make people feel happy, dance, and want to share it. You know what I mean? That's basically what we make music for, and that's the genre. You know what I mean? I don't think we have a particular word for it, but that's the genre. So it'll go through a couple of processes. So it'll be like the raps will be the hip hop of it. You know what I mean? And then the beats will be the different elements of it. You know what I mean? And then everything together will be the final product, which is the third piece of it. You know? So that's how we do it.
So basically, it's called HDS, the Happy Dance Share Music. You know what I mean? Happy Dance Share Music. You know what I mean? It ain't even like hip hop. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I mean, Truhitz. How do you meet up with Truhitz? Because is he like your go-to guy? You know, before you call everyone else, you check Truhitz's studio first. How's that happen?
Like, crazy thing is that how I met Truhitz was that I was called in for a feature, like one of my first features ever, and then his homie was recording with TSA. Nick? He was recording with TSA, and I met Truhitz, and then like the session with Truhitz was so silk, you know. So from there we were like, yo, let's come back and do another session. Came back, did another session and another session. And then we were like, yo, let's do a project. Let's do my first mixtape, which is Cameron Diaz. And then from there, it was like, he's my go-to guy. Like whatever beat, if somebody sends me a beat, I have to send it to him for him to approve. Does this work with what we're doing? It doesn't. So, you know what I mean? Sorry, bro.
So Truhitz basically maybe like, nah, nothing works. Unless it comes from me, nothing
Pretty
works.
much,
you know?
pretty much.
But how do you, when you work with one artist as a producer, you have the risk of making the artist not grow, you know? How do you always diversify? How do you sell the new sound to Stilo? Because Stilo's also like, 1 minute is on a rap beat, 1 minute is on a hip hop dance share type of beat, you know, like Sugar Misa. How do you select and do you sell him the music? Like, yo, this is what we can do.
Like, we always conceptualize. We always come up with something. Oh, he'll be inspired by something and then says, no, let's jump on this and see how it works. And then I interpret it in my own way. And then we put the thing together and see how it goes. So it's usually like that. It's just concepts. Just throw around concepts and come up with a song.
Because I'll always come with the far-fetched idea, the abstract. Say, yo, let's do this, and then he always brings it back to the ground level of what it would sound like musically, and like from a hip hop perspective, you know. So it'll always draw back to the elements of what we're doing. So it's like I'll always just come up with any far-fetched idea that I think is cool. Like, oh, let's try this. Let's maybe man's gonna try reggae. You know what I mean? He's like, nah. Then he tries it out. Then he's like, oh, maybe it's a vibe. Let's try it out. You know? So,
That's dope. So it's almost like your right hand man. You know, like you're building the Stilo sound.
Definitely.
You just got off like the Tropicana Tour. You know?
Not off yet.
Oh, I mean November 2nd of the last
10 days away is the finale.
Basically, how long have you been on it? Yeah, it's been. And how did you get it together? You know, was it bookings in certain places, or were you just starting? And how were you just like doing everything yourself?
Been on it for 3 months, so from the 20th of August, and it's kind of just initially it was supposed to end on the 5th of November, and it's just kind of grown grown each time, and it's a mixture of everything. It's like 50% bookings and 50% shows we put on ourselves. But it's been like a really like hectic, tough journey. You know what I mean? Like, because now you have to double up, be a promoter and be an artist, and you know what I mean? Like having a small team and building the team, and also teaching other cats in the squad to, yo, now you got to road manage, you know what I mean? Because yo, low key, we don't have a budget to go get somebody who's actually safe.
Yeah.
So now you got to road manage, okay, cool, you got to do this. So it's kind of been like a lot of learning curves, but a really dope experience, you know what I mean? Because I just put together homies that really dig what I'm doing and really support the movement, and homies who are just genuine homies, but amongst everything else, because there's nothing worse than being on the road for hours on end with people that actually don't vibe with you, don't like you, or don't like your music, you know what I mean? So that's what the tour was about, and like we went to so many amazing places, learned so many amazing things of how to conduct business with certain promoters, how to treat first time events in certain places, you know what I mean? Like how to do the proper research when you go to certain places, because as an independent, it's not like you have the major doing everything and just show up and do the show, you know what I mean? You got to do the back end, and we struggle with a lot of back end, but a lot of the shows are successful, you know, which is really dope. So it's a crazy journey. Yeah.
Touring thing is really becoming a thing. I mean, it wasn't as prominent as it was. I mean, this year alone we've had like the Casper tour, you know. In fact, it's really you and Casper, you know, that's really gone out and had a tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I know guys say they're touring, but you really had like one substantial run. Gigi's also doing like is on a tour now. She's about to go out on a tour. I mean, what is it that makes you go, okay, cool, I'm gonna spend my own guap and do this, and what results do you see from it when you're done? You know what I mean?
The main thing for me is that I'm one of those artists that, like, as you know, from the music side, it's very unconventional, untraditional, untextbook. So a lot of people just generally vibe with the music, but they don't fully understand the movement. So the tour is teaching them the lifestyle behind the music, and taking the lifestyle behind the music to them. You know what I mean? And trying to create shows that just communicate with people on a level that they never understood we did it before. You know what I mean? It's different to see me just perform on stage, but it's different when it's my tour, and or when it's a show that's booked for the tour, and also there's visuals, there's this and that, there's, you know what I mean, there's supporting acts and all of that, and people get the full spec of what we're doing. So the importance of that is just growing the brand in a way that it's not about a peak but longevity. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like I'm not looking at blowing up in 2017 or having the #1 hit single. You know what I mean? I'm looking at, like, in the next 5 years, can I cake for the next 5 years? I don't want to cake next year. Can I keep caking for the next 5 years? Is there growth there?
Build
you
up.
know what I mean? Can I build myself? Can I build the team? Can everybody eat long term? You know what I mean? And that's why also I'm very strict about, like, taking beats, buying beats from everywhere else and saying, oh, I'll take that beat. And keeping it in-house, because if I grow, True grows. You feel me? And in turn, we all grow. And by him growing and him being better, that makes my product better, because it gives it currency. You know what I mean? And the exchange rate becomes even more nuts.
I mean, talking about that, you know, I see like sharing the growth. I mean, I see you also put Smashis in it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like how do you? I mean, he's obviously chilled back a bit, you know, and he's dropped 1 or 2 songs. But what made you go, yo, let's go and let's push, you know? And how's it been on the road with him?
Yo, man, it's as my homie, he's an amazing dude. You know what I mean? Me and him vibe. We've been homies for about a year or whatever now. But like on the road, it's like he's learned so much. Like the Smashis that everybody knows for all these years, completely different dude. You know what I mean? I've been on the road with him and his brother. You know, so it's a completely different dude. Like you have to. It takes a real man to understand that you need to be selfless in order to grow beyond your measures. You feel me? And those are the learning curves that, as my homie, he's learning to acquire, because coming from a place where you were the end all and be all in the situation, you know what I mean, to being a supporting act turns, you know what I mean, it's hard. It's humbling, you know what I mean? So for me, I have a whole newfound respect for him apart from the respect I had for him already, you know what I mean? And for me, I always support him as my homie, you know, so I always ride for him if he ever needs anything. So, you know, and also for me, it's just like get him to get back on his groove, because it's all about getting back into your groove. Nobody's just gonna hand it to you on a silver platter, you know what I mean? You gotta earn it and you gotta work for it. And for me, it's like, yo, if you get on the road and you do things and you mingle and you're dealing with promoters and you're dealing with this and you're dealing with, you get back into your motion, you know, and that's what it's about. You know?
Really get to see what it means to actually hustle.
Yeah.
You know, and it's to what it means not to be a Joburg artist also.
Yeah, definitely.
Because a lot of guys suffer from being Joburg stars.
Yeah.
And shout out to Vuzu, but like, and being Vuzu stars also. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like in the rest of the country, you know, they're not counting them in the country.
They don't
count in the count.
They don't know them, you know what I mean? I get to a lot of places, a lot of people don't know me. They're just like, who's this again? You know, but it's like,
That's real. You know, not a lot of people can say that.
yeah, I get to a lot of places like where I'm booked. I'm booked. My posters are everywhere. Who's this guy? You know? But once they get into the music and they hear the music, they're like, hey, oh, that guy, oh, Mr. Party. You know, because I've got this weird backlog with my music. It's like every song I drop, like Sugar Miss I just dropped now, it's not going to blow up now. Like in Jan, people are going to be losing their minds to it. That's generally how it works, you know. Like, because I dropped Day Off in Jan. And right now, it's like at the peak of its buzz. It's like a weird vibe. I don't get it, you know. But people always work with the backlog. When I drop Bobby, people are like, yeah. But now people are buzzing to it, you know. And people are like, yo, give us the video, give us the video. So it's like, it's like.
I mean, there's too much music, see. So what people are doing during the year, they literally just like, okay, we heard it. But only the stuff that surfaces again, that means that's the one that they said we're going back to that one.
Yeah.
So, you know, people aren't listening to music anymore like, I listen to this for days and days. They listen for a day, something else, news comes out, boom. And online has done that. It's just made music almost like every day. But the stuff that literally like goes a long way, literally will go through. The stuff that resurfaces again, you know what I mean? So for you as an artist, you know, do you comply or do you feel any responsibility with regards to, and does that even exist in today's rap music or hip hop music, that the elements of hip hop are this or that or that?
I don't know what are the elements of hip hop. I'm from one element of hip hop. You know what I mean? I'm from the jig element of hip hop, the swag element of hip hop. All these other elements mean nothing to me. You know what I mean? I'm just as a lyricist, I'm only getting better and better. You know what I mean? And as a jiggy homie, I'm just becoming jiggier. You know what I mean? I'm almost goat. You know what I mean? When it comes to the jig. And one of those, and for me, it's one of those where a lot of people will be online like, come on, Stilo, you know, your bars are not that dope. I'm like, dude, for you, it's not that dope, but for me, it's about the message. For me, I'm a conceptual dude. Like, each verse is a message. It's not about me translating bars to you. I'm not a bar rapper. You know what I mean? I make the songs. Every song that you've ever heard me on, I made it. You know what I mean? Anybody that's featured on it is featured and didn't make the song. I made the song and they were featured. So it's like, if I can get if you're gonna try to take away the dab of the musical making and want to just give me a rap dab, it's like, why are you losing your mind to the song but you hate the verse? You feel me?
I mean, like, here you are, you got it makes sense because you're like, from a creative perspective, it's not just you got Truhitz also, you know, who's also behind the scenes. Truhitz, besides working with Stilo, who else have you basically worked with besides him? And working with him, has it opened other doors, or were your doors already open? You were just doing him a favor. You want to do a full? Alright, cool, man.
We recently did the Stoggy T album.
Oh yeah.
Did like most of the songs.
Yeah, that's dope.
Did the Stoggy T. did Youngster. I did a few recordings for Youngster because I'm also an engineer. So it's one of those things. But
You got a sound engineering background going on there.
yeah. Young touch.
You know we thug it out.
Yeah.
So do you travel? Do you also go on tour?
No. I don't
Go on
like
then,
trap. I don't-
They don't need a guy to fix the mics for now.
They don't need a stage engineer or something like that. No. Yeah.
Tropicana tour is gonna have a bigger budget.
Yeah,
And even if I want to play I'm not right. I got a job, Stilo gonna give me a job, I'll be out, y'all. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know?
Back to the crease, we can role play. You